It's year 24 of USFFL, and we have the AFC Wildcard between Baltimore and Kansas City, and this is the first play from scrimmage. Flat pass to Likely for 7. We'll do a little switching here. Okay, there we go. 2nd and 3. For the Ravens, Gus Edwards in the backfield. This Ravens team comes in as the 3 seed, champions of the NFC North. Linebuck, guessed wrong, gets 5. And it's a first down on the first series of downs for Baltimore. These teams did not face during the regular season, if I'm not mistaken. Looking at that today. Let's take another look now. On this 1st and 10, too tight for the Ravens. Going flat past. Zay Flowers picks up 9 on his card. Successful play. So there's Baltimore scheduled. Yeah, I don't see Kansas City in there. So this is their first meeting of the year. Of course, they met in real life in the AFC Championship game last year in Baltimore, where Kansas City went in and won on their way to the in real life Super Bowl championship. Once again, they're in Baltimore for this rematch. But the Kansas City Cards, just for the playoffs, would look a lot different than they did for the regular season. Short pass Andrews, guessed right. 3 men, gets the must run 11 yards, possible penalty. Personal foul, tack on 15. This Baltimore squad struggled with penalties in the regular season. Kansas City as well. So it could see a bunch going both ways. 1st and 10 now, all the way up to the 28-yard line. Baltimore behind the quarterbacking of Lamar Jackson. You saw, and there's a guess wrong. 1 man in zone. Bolton is a 5-run block of run defense, so couldn't make the play. On the 6, White die, tough break for the Chiefs there. Jackson came in 86.8 passer rating, so not toward the top. 17th in completions, 12th in yardage per attempt. Ran the ball 99 times when he wasn't must running. So we'll see a bunch of that. This team overall runs 44% of the time. 4th highest in the USFFL this year. 2nd and 5. Back to Edwards. Guessed wrong, and he might score possible penalty. So you see the injury there. Possible quarterback. Lamar could have gone down. The 3 die is up toward the top where there's no injuries. He wouldn't have been lost for more than a week, but he could have easily been lost for the half or for the game. And that to me is as much of a headline as the run there for 23 yards and a score. And Baltimore's out to a quick 7-0 lead just 3 minutes into this first quarter. Here comes the Chiefs offense. Finished 12th in yardage per game at 362. 10th in points at 26. Too tight. No Gray and Kelsey. It's a flat pass. Pacheco. 4 is there. Incomplete on Pacheco's card. But Pacheco's more of a yak guy than a card guy. And, card is just as important as yak, pretty much. And that time goes to the card. You can see it's overall pretty rough sledding there for Pacheco. 2nd and 10. Kansas City, a well-distributed offense. Here's a short pass. And Scanlon avoids interception on Mahomes' car. Let's get the pass rush up here. You did see somebody coming on that 2nd and long from Baltimore. Baltimore finished about middle of the pack, a little bit better than average, 29 sacks. But 9th in sack win percentage at 32%. But this KC line is one that really can do the job. Shotgun, 3 wide. Short pass, Watson. No double team. 2 blitzers coming of note. Here's the roll. He's flushed. Went to the high linebacker. Going to get Yak. Yes. Kelsey. 15 yards, first down. This KC team had 68 dump-offs during the regular season. Excuse me, which is good for 8th in the league. I don't have a mute button on this computer anywhere near. I got to dig deep inside the computer to get to the mute button. So if I have to cough, you're probably going to hear it. Pacheco on a guessed right first down run. Goes to his card, no gain. So nice call by Mr. Schumacher. John not afraid to call run. 5th in the league, 26% at calling run. Let's make sure everything's operating okay here. That's interesting. Let's see. Calling. Oh, looks good. 2nd and 10. Kansas City overall more of a small ball team than usual. Out of all the plays, they throw the flat pass the most, but just 38% to running 37%. Long pass is down at 23rd in the league at 6%. In fear of that Mahomes INT, I imagine, as much as anything else. Looks like we need a new game number here. See that INT right there. And while we're waiting for that game number, take a quick look at the all-important, if we're going to talk about INT, the interception return for Baltimore is not stellar, but you're going to get, a short gain pretty much out of your returns. But probably nothing to really fear from KC's perspective, as we'll step out and step back in. I'm going to assume this is going to happen quickly. There it is, 91804. Nothing yet. Not a good sign usually if you don't get straight in. We'll give Tim a second here. Not looking promising here. 91804, right? I missed something? Yeah. Okay, well, with that, we'll step aside for a moment. Try to step aside for a moment. Be right back after the technical difficulties. Okay, looks like we're back here. 2nd and 10. Short pass, Noah Gray. Pressure coming. Flushed. Possible penalty. -3 plus 21 net, and that's going to hold up. Kelsey makes the big catch. So we talked about those dump offs from KC. 8th in the league again in chances, which was 25% of the time. Drop back, short, long, and that percentage led the league. Meanwhile, on defense, these Ravens were 27th in percentage at 22%. So, on percentage basis, that favors these Chiefs, and a lot of that has to do with the offensive line, of course, for the Chiefs, that made a big block there and a 64% sack, missing the interception split. 2-12. We saw that 2-12 show up in the Chargers Texans game a couple nights ago. My Chargers got lucky and hit the snake eyes for the pick. I do miss the Cards of old, where it had a diversified interception split across the stock cards on flat pass 3-1 man. Don't have that anymore. All 2 and 12. 2nd and 10. Well within field goal range. Short pass, guessed wrong. Opportunity here. Scantling finds the 5 white die, which gets in the 15 yards. Inside the 25 now, Baltimore, to the 24, 1st and 10. Both teams' offenses finding success so far. This Baltimore D was pretty stout during the regular season. Rated good and good to excellent and excellent and past D. Is that correct? Take a quick peek here. Yeah. Linebacker Pacheco. Nobody home. Gets just 3, 2nd and 7. So Pacheco being held in check so far without one successful run, but I'm sure he'll find some as the game goes on. On this 2nd and 7, too tight. Flat pass. Incomplete on Mahomes' card. It brings up 3rd and 7 now, which is a spot where KC likes to look deep. 5th in the league here. Not going deep in this spot, but maybe inside the 25 wouldn't do it. Goes deep 10% of the time compared to 6% average league-wide. In these situations, the offense finished 10th in the league at converting 35% of the time on offense, while the Baltimore defense finished 8th in the league, 31%. Short pass is going to go a must run, and Mahomes gets it. 18-yard run. No attempt. And the 3-4 gives you more opportunities to shadow if you want to. Shadow is a risky business, and it's left for the very best of the must runners in extreme situations. Yeah, it probably wasn't one of those situations. Now it's 1st and goal to 3. Showing a nickel. Linebacker Mahomes. One man there guessed wrong. Just needs 3 yards. Gets nothing. Such an interesting linebacker. One man with -1 plus 2-0, and then a short gain. So, feast or famine. 2nd and goal now from the 3. Back to Pacheco. Just gets a yard. Had it guessed wrong just the way he wanted, and Pacheco could not get it done. Frustrating roll for the Chiefs, but still 2 downs to get in the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 2. Blocking back formation. Blitzing 3-3-5. Back to Pacheco. Guessed right this time. Another no gain. Finds the 7 again. And it's 4th and goal at the 2. Decision time for KC. It's a team that was 31st in fourth down offensive attempts with just 14 during the regular season. Thinking about it here, down 7-0 early. They go for it. Full house. They ran 83% of the time in these spots. They didn't have many of the spots, though, like I mentioned a moment ago. Just 6 during the regular season. 3-4 blitz. It's a line buck. Guessed wrong. Pacheco, can he get 2 yards? He can't! Again, the one linebacker. 7 comes up for the 3rd time in the series, and the Chiefs are stopped. Big play here. Just first quarter, though. Long way to go. Discouraging, but this is when you want to take chances. Long field now for the Ravens. And this pass rush, the Chiefs can do some damage. Although you see Jones is matched up on a 7. Linebuck Edwards, man is there filling the zone. He's going to just get a yard. Bolton makes that play on the 4 white die. 2nd and 9. Gus Edwards led the team in attempts, the Baltimore Ravens with 184. He's typically going linebacker and run, 2nd and 9. Three, 4 puts Jones over Limbaum here, who's a 5. So Jones versus Limbaum, so gets a little bit of a boost. Going 3-4, but opens a lot of vulnerabilities. Linebuck off tackle. Edwards just gets 2. 3rd and 7. Just misses his plus 20 on 10. Three wide set. Aguilar comes in, joining Bateman and Flowers. This Baltimore team has a supreme tight end crew. Will be among the top drafted in the Battle Royale. Encourage everybody to check out Battle Royale. Apparently looking for an owner or two. It's a great format. Pick units, and this tight end unit for Baltimore is one that would be picked often. But here we see just one of them in the game. It's Andrews. And you need 7 yards. Not sure Andrews is your guy, interestingly. Oh, he is. He sure is. Look at that. Off tackle draw, Justice Hill. Can he find room? He cannot. Looking for the defensive card. Couldn't get it. 4th and 8. And Chiefs work it. It didn't go exactly the plan. Let's go a touchdown, but this is what you're hoping for when you go for it at the 1 yard line or 2 yard line. But a nice punt gives the Baltimore defense some breathing room as it pushes KC back to the 38 or something? 37. 1st and 10. 3:18 left first quarter, 7-0 Baltimore. Chiefs' second possession. Moved the ball well in the first possession. No points to show for it after the turnover on downs. 7 pass block Pacheco in the backfield. And run Pacheco. Nobody home. 5 against 5 gets 6 yards. First good run of the day for Pacheco. He's already got 6 carries, 16 left. It's a pretty hefty workload here for 1 quarter of work, or less than 1 quarter of work. Again, too tight on the 2nd and 4. Flat pass Kelsey. 2 men there. Gets to the offensive card, and Kelsey does the work, hitting the 12 on Yak for 27 yards to the Baltimore 30. Big gainer there for Travis Kelsey, who's found good Yak reading so far. 63 yards already for Kelsey. And I think they're all on flat passes. too tight. Long pass, Noah Gray. He's up against the 0. 5 is back. Guess right. Let's find a hit. He's going to get a dump-off opportunity yet again. And a long gain. Does he get it? Needs 30 yards. He's got it. Scantlin, touchdown, Chiefs. Dump-offs are really working for this Chiefs squad. Buck around for the extra point. It's good. He's 2 through 12. It can be blocked, as we saw in the first AFC Wildcard matchup where 2 through 12 kicker was blocked. And now Justice Hill has a chance to run it out, and he should, and he does. 42 yards. Possible penalties waived off. Boy, look at that. Justice Hill is noticing this pregame. Only way to do it is if you roll 2 to get into Justice Hill. And look at those readings. I mean, just because of the KC coverage, puts Baltimore in great field position to start off here. Too tight against 4-3. Complete on first down. Second and 10. Hill stays in the game here at halfback after his long return. Justice Hill, a big off-tackle runner mostly. It's an end run to Lamar. His first of the game. He gets 7 of it back, and it's going to be 3rd and 3. At midfield, this Baltimore team is the only team that went for fewer first downs than the Chiefs. Both these teams highly conservative on 4th, but here we are on 3rd. In just a few yards. Baltimore surprisingly having troubles in 3rd and short. 30th in the league conversions from here. Looking past Zay Flowers. He converts this one. 16 yards. Big catch on the 6 roll. And a first down up to the 33. Into Tucker field goal range. Justin Tucker had a bad day today in real life, but he's on the field for this game. Already kicked an extra point for the Ravens. 1st and 10, 33-yard line. Now you see likely. It's worth looking at his cards. You understand the depth of these tight ends. We'll try to tuck it away over here and set it up while the play. Sneak it in. Yeah, take a look at that. It's an impressive card for your second tight end. Long pass, Andrews. Lots of blitzers coming. Do they get home? They don't. Incomplete pass deep. Second and 10. You saw those percentages. When this team brings it, they can get those numbers up. You see the boost here, 12 to 15, 2 to 7, 8 to 13. Put a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage. You can get some big numbers out here for the Chiefs today. 2nd and 10. Off tackle, Hill. Gets just 2. 3rd and 8. Let's take a closer look here at the field goal range for Tucker to see how much that's on the mind of Coach John here. He goes back to the standard 37. He's not very good out there. 2 through 4, 12. So he might be hugging this field goal range and might be looking into the flats here or a run. Can't afford to take a sack in this spot. Jones up over center. Again, up against Linderbaum. Justice Hill brings a 2 pass block rating to fight against these asterisks, which is pretty effective against the 1 asterisk. Don't need much to shut them down. It's a short pass. Risking a sack here, avoids it, just 3 yards on the must run. And it's going to be a 4th and 5 from the 28. So just a little bit of variable risk for Tucker. He comes on for the kick from 45 yards. The kick is good. 10-7 Baltimore. 14:24 left. Second quarter. AFC Wildcard. We have a really good matchup here. Enjoying this one so far. Touchback for Tucker. So the Justice Hill return really did pay off there. Without it, you don't get that field goal. Okay. So that was the difference maker on that drive. 1st and 10 from the 25. Kansas City now in the 3rd drive of the game. Flat pass. Guess wrong. 2 men there. Which card does it go to this time? Last time it was a 27-yard gain in this situation. It's a short gain. Possible penalty. 17 yards. Rashee Rice is lost on the 1-1-1 roll. But just for this game. But he's an AYAC, so that is of importance, especially to Coach Irvin, who values additionally high YACs that the Chiefs receivers have. So that is a somewhat important injury for that reason. Funneling in a bit the flat pass recipients. You see Hardman check in here with the B, and that might be why in this case. It's just an 8.3 average, so your deep threat over here is Watson. Makes sense. Wise move there by Coach Irvin. Keep the balance on the offense. Pass to Watson. 3 men in zone. 2 blitzers as usual. It's those 2 ends. And it got another 1-1-1 roll and a snap fumble. Is it a 1-1-1 roll? That's a good question. I'm not sure if it actually rolled that way. It didn't. Tooney picks it up, though. 2nd and 11. So 1 out of 1,000 chance Mahomes finds it, but luckily for the Chiefs, they recover. 2nd and 11. So, and John comments, that's right. So it doesn't happen often. So here you see, this right here is your roll. It can be anywhere between 1 and 1,000. The only rolls that are going to cause a fumble is if it's less than or equal to this number. So there's only 1 roll on the 1,000 die that can come up that can cause Mahomes to fumble. And it came up. Results in a loss of 1, though. 2nd and 11 now for these Chiefs. Chiefs like small ball in this spot. Let's see if they do it again. They've done it so far in their 2nd and longs. They do. Flat pass Hardman. He's wrong. Opportunity here to get a big chunk of yards back. Hardman the BAC. Gets 19. Goes right to plan for Coach Irvin. Now it's up to the Baltimore 40-yard line. Once again, the Chiefs are on the move. Yeah, yak rolls have been working for this Chiefs offense. Yaks, dump offs, combination of dump offs and yak. One time went to the receiver card instead. Didn't work out so well, but for the most part, it's been sticking to the yak charts. 1st and 10. You see those 2 6 back there to defend the flat, and there you go. You got a 6 defending Pacheco. Guess right. 6 is there. Pacheco couldn't get the yak to cooperate that time to dig out of that -3 hole. So it turns into 2nd and 10. -3 hole, that -1 hole, it tells you, I mean, the strat gods are telling you got to go to your yak guys, or you might be suffering some pretty difficult results on flat pass right with Mahomes. It's one of the subpar flat pass right cards in terms of the yak ratings. The jumping off point, -3, -1. Last year, Mahomes had a +6 or a +7 straight without yak on a 7 roll. Linebuck Pacheco, guessed wrong. Looking for that short gain on 4. Does he get it? No. 4 yards. 3rd down, 6 upcoming. Well within Bucker field goal range. Showing blitz here, trying to knock him out. This is a spot where the Chiefs like to go deep. It's their highest tendency deep spot right here on 3rd and 6. Where they go long 10% of the time. It's a look into Kelsey. 6 is there. Incomplete on the 6 roll. So the 6 saves the 1st down. And as a result, Bucker's on for the kick. It's good. Very good. Right down the middle. And we are tied at 10. Just under 12 minutes left. 2nd quarter. There's a touchback. Mitchell checks in, low usage back, but he gets a chunk when he runs. He's at an average of 8.4 is what he will get on his offensive card if the low usage kicks in and he gets 8 yards or more, which he gets often as he's loaded up with short gains. 1st and 10. Short pass Andrews. 14 yards on Andrews' card. 1st down up to the 39. See that leaky 3-man defense for the Chiefs. It's a little bit better than it indicates because the split is so low here on 3. Nonetheless, well populated with completions. 1st and 10. Off tackle Mitchell. Going to get 5. There's no penalty. There is a penalty. It's unsportsmanlike on Kansas City. I think that's their 2nd of the game, if I'm not mistaken. For unsportsmanlike, puts the Ravens right back in the Chiefs' territory. Yeah, 2 penalties, 30 yards. Both unsportsmanlikes on the Chiefs so far. Mitchell stays in the game as your lone setback. End run, guessed right. Jackson finds a defensive card and therefore gets 6 yards. Worth looking into what the offensive card would have yielded on that 9 roll. Would have been no gain. 2nd and 4. As we noted before, these Ravens have to work a little harder to get into field goal range. Flat pass likely. 4 is there. Going to get just a yard. 3rd and 3. Boy, likely does it all with a good yak, too. He's got a B. Andrews with the C. 3rd and 3 from the 34. So not ideal field goal range. A 2-yard gain inches him at a 4th and 1 would be an interesting decision if we get there. Edwards checks in now. This is Baltimore spot where they like to go deep. 3rd in the league here. Don't know they'll do it here, though, from the 34. That'd be an interesting play call. Yeah, look in pass. Edwards guessed wrong. Opportunity here to get the yards, and they do. 16 yards. Edwards picks it up. It's a little yak for the Ravens. And now into the red zone go the Baltimore Ravens, where they were fourth in the league at 80%. Kansas City, 10th in the league on defense at 71%. "41 touchdowns." Well, that sounds like a lot. Out of 60 trips for these Ravens into the red zone during the regular season. Blitzing 3-4. Edwards does not have a pass block rating. So let's see if that scares the Ravens out of throwing short. Linebuck. Nobody home. Opportunity here for Gus. He gets 6 of it. So successful run on first down. 2nd and 4. That's Edwards' 6th carry. He's got 14 left. Keeps him in. As we're nearing the halfway point of the second quarter. Again, the blitzing 4-3. Short pass, guessed wrong. Opportunity for likely 12 yards. Incomplete on Lamar's card. Gets the 7, and it's 3rd and 4. Big spot here. Not blitzing now, interestingly, which is going to encourage, I think, the short pass for Lamar here on this 3rd and 4. See if there's any 6s here that could do some shadowing. Yep. Leo Chenal could shadow. I don't think KC shadowed all year. Flat pass. 2 men there. Guessed wrong. Which card? Offensive card. That's a touchdown. Would have been incomplete on the defensive card. Instead, high leverage play, high leverage white die works out to the Ravens' favor, and it's 16-10 Baltimore. Tucker on for the extra point attempt. The kick is good. 17-10. So the KC defense made the right play call there on that 3rd down, pretty much. The hedge sort of worked out, putting the 2 men in the right spot, but the white die did not work out at all. And now they'll start off from their own 25 yet again. With 8:06 left, down 7. So 27 points so far in this first half. Offenses have had no problem moving the ball, thanks to mostly yak rolls. Scantlin in now. It's a look in pass. Travis Kelce gets 4, 2nd and 6. Doesn't feel like Mahomes has missed 6 passes, but apparently he has. 8 of 14. As you can see there on the scoreboard. Now we are halfway through the second quarter. Short pass, Noah Gray. 3 men in zone. Complete for 12. On the defensive card, first down, KC up to the 41. Not seeing any formation variation. You have an asterisk along the line, and Pacheco shuts that down with his 7. Looking pass. Guess wrong. A 6 is there. Incomplete. Possible penalty is waved off. 2nd and 10. Let's take a look at the penalty card for KC. See, there are a lot of blanks in the middle. Populated on the outside. It's just slightly unfavorable for the Chiefs. To the defensive penalty card that time, as you can see here, where the mystery roll turned out to be incomplete. Short pass, Noah Gray. 3 men in zone. 11 yards. Another completion on the Ravens. Pretty decent short pass card, where the 6 is blank and also the 4. But most importantly, that 6. 1st and 10. Into Baltimore territory yet again. Every Chiefs drive has done it. We have not seen a punt yet. Flat pass, Pacheco. Stopped by the 4. The 4 makes the play. Stops the short gain. 2nd and 10. I don't know this for certain, but it doesn't feel like the Chiefs have had much success on first down. They've been doing most of their damage in the later downs here, overcoming 2nd and longs. See a move to the 3-3-5, which takes a 6 off the field in a spot where the Chiefs like to throw flat. It's a draw to Pacheco. It's an off tackle. Gets 7 nice yards, 3rd and 3. Into field goal range for Bucker on this 3rd and short. Where KC also has been struggling. 39% conversions here, which is 26th in the league. While the Ravens D holds the offense to 38% conversion, which is 7th in the league. Let's see if that holds up here. Linebacker Pacheco, a man is there. Guessed wrong. Just needs 3, gets 1. So the season-long stats hold up somehow, some way. With a rough roll from Pacheco, it's a 4th and 2. You're in pretty much chip shot field goal range from 57. What will these Chiefs do? Regular season Chiefs would kick. Postseason Chiefs might have a different view. Chiefs were 5th in the league with 32 successful field goals during the regular season. Surprisingly down at 12th, though, in field goal percentage at 86%, despite having Bucker. And here's Bucker on. Try to make it a 4-point game. From long range, Bucker nails it on the 9. 17-13. Baltimore maintains its lead. And now they take over here. Let's see if they can play keep away in terms of possessions or not. Kansas City will get the ball to start the second half. Justice Hill is your back. 3-4 defensive call, which again opens up some trouble in the middle, in the heart of the D, but you get Chris Jones on top of Linderbaum. It's an end run. Just 4 yards for Lamar. 2nd and 6. This time going blocking back. Still a 3-4-D. So interesting watching these defensive formations. Good to see some variation here. And we're seeing it from the Chiefs. And this is how Hill's linebucker is, but that's what I'd be doing. End run to Hill. Going to get 6, and that's enough for a first down. I think up the middle might have been a big gainer in that 3-4-D. I think you add boxes to that. Oh, well, it definitely would be a short gain. Yeah, short gain. Instead, 6 yards. Justice Hill is a linebacker and end runner mostly. 61, 33, 57 across the running options. So 61 linebacker, 33. The first 33rd and off tackle, 57th and in run. But in terms of attempts, yeah, he's mostly an off tackler. Flat pass, Zay Flowers gets a short gain, 18 yards into KC territory. Yet again, these offenses finding ways, on chunk plays when they're throwing short. It's been the theme of the game so far. The dink and dunks have resulted in chunks. Back to the 3-4. Andrew and Lamar guessed right. Opportunity for the KCD cannot come through, and instead a 15-yard gain for Lamar Jackson. Guessed right. Nice call by the defense, but the white die again not cooperating, and up to the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Down to 2:06. Plenty of time to score. With Butker, though, you can't leave much time on that clock, or Butker has a good shot at getting within his range. 4-2-5 defense now. So takes quite a commitment to stop inside runs. End run, Justice Hill guessed right again to the offensive card. Possible penalty is a clipping against Baltimore. Push him back to the 47-yard line. Big call there. Takes us to the warning. 1st and 25. And they're 15 yards from even sniffing a decent field goal attempt now. But still first down, so plenty of downs to work with for this Ravens offense on this 1st and very long. Justice Hill's your back. Flat pass. Hill, he's doubled up. Nicely done. Incomplete on the 6 white die. 2nd and very long. Baltimore regular season was their tendency to go flat in those spots. 8th in the league in flat passing at a 42% clip versus a 32% league average. 2nd and very long. They typically don't throw on the flat. Let's see what happens here. Too tight. Hill is still your back. Looking past likely. A 4 is there. Just a 2-yard gain. Possible penalty is waved off. That had to have the Chiefs sweating a little bit there because they like this down in distance. 3rd and 23. They get the timeout. They're first of the half. 1:45 now. So Chiefs sense the opportunity here to get the ball back with just under a minute and a half left. Too tight versus the 3-3-5. It's an end run to Lamar. He's going to get nothing. Shut down by the dreaded 5. And it's 4th and 23. And we'll see a coffin kick here from the Ravens. Let's see if Stout can pin these Chiefs back. And he will order up the coffin corner, presumably. Thinking about it. Yeah, coffin corner. 28 yards. Saying they can't see the game. Let's see here. Why not? My voice and blank screen. We're sharing. All right, let's stop it. Let's try it again. How's that? Should be able to see it now. That's weird. I mean, it was looking good. We checked on the YouTube feed. Let's see here. Okay, that looks right. I guess I'll keep this up just in case it goes back down again. And check in on it every now and then. Creed Humphrey lost for 2 games. Huge loss for the Chiefs. I'm not sure what they can do. Okay, Algrady can go to center. He's a 4. That's serviceable. And we have a 3rd and 3. So it looks like you're going to have a radio call for the first little while. Not sure how it happened. Weird. Usually it's one of those moments you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot to do this, that, or the other thing. I've done that a handful of times. I didn't see what happened. Nonetheless, working now. So here we go. 3rd and 3. Thins out that Chiefs line a bit. Gives them less options. Because could be moving Tooney around if you wanted to, etc., without the Humphrey injury, right? To cover off these defensive ends if you felt like it. And that Algrady would be a part of that switcheroo. And now Algrady's going to be occupied at the center position instead. So 3rd and 3 with Humphrey on the sideline. Checo trying to get the yards. Gets it, first down for the Chiefs and out of bounds. So 1 timeout still for the Chiefs. They've got a little work to do, but not too much. Thanks to the leg of Bucker. How much work exactly do they have to do? We'll take a look here. Out to the 43. Short pass, Scanlon. He's doubled up. Blitzers are somewhat high. Intercepted Brandon Stevens. Now, like we said before, typically a short gain return. There's a 0 stuck in there too. Let's see what they come up with. Hey, look at that 14 yards. So that puts the Ravens in really good spot here with 1 minute left. So nicely called double team by John and his Ravens leads to some opportunity to open up to a 2-score lead, which would be pretty rough for the Chiefs, given that they were zoning in on just trying to manufacture a field goal attempt there and get the ball back. Instead, now the Ravens can avoid a clipping call like on the last drive. They can put up some points here. Beckham is in. Short pass, Zay Flowers. Blitzers are moderate. Must run, misses the 10-yarder by a slot. And it's 5 yards. Out of bounds, no, for Lamar. But all the timeouts for Baltimore. They can do what they want here. Hurry up or call it. Looks like they are calling it. Their first timeout. 2nd and 5 from the 21. So it's essentially the second turnover by KC. They gave up the ball at the 2-yard line on their first drive and a missed 4th down. Got the ball right back though in that situation, so no points lost. Here, the Ravens got to feel comfortable in getting 3 if they can avoid a big play by the Chiefs defense. Maybe 7. 2nd and 5. Off tackle Hill. Nobody's behind. Boxes are active. Gets 15 if there's no penalty. There's a penalty. And it's a false start. Wow, big one. Would have been 1st and goal from the 6. Instead, 2nd and 10 from the 26. So penalties boosted the Ravens offense early on. 2 personal fouls on 2 separate drives. Now, 2 consecutive drives where penalties are doing some serious damage to the Ravens' offensive attack. Very much recoverable, though. 2nd and 10 from the 26. Too tight versus the 4-2-5. Lamar with just 2 end runs left. Can't imagine him using those up now. Short pass Andrews. Blitzers come in. Could be big if they get home. Flushed. Possible penalty. 10 yards. Does it hold up? It does. That's a 1st down to the 16 and out of bounds. So all of a sudden, all the options are open for Baltimore. Everything is open back up. 2 timeouts, 45 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 16. They're in good shape. No high linebacker coming. Decent sack possibilities on 5 of the 6 player results, but hits the one that's blank and gets the dump off. Dump offs, yaks, really been important in this first half. They show up again here. Hill is your back. Looking past. 2 men are there. Another good reading and a touchdown. 16 yards. He's in, unless there's something unusual. Yeah, 16 yards. Hill is in. 2 men in zone. 2nd touchdown today for the Ravens on a flat or look in with 2 men in zone. It's 23-13. Tucker trying to make it an 11-point game. It's good. And now the Chiefs are going to very little clock to work with to get their 30-some yards to get them into Bucker field goal range. Going to have to go for it, though. Down 11. No choice but to try to grab those points. But we'll see a 3-3-5 here from Baltimore, and we do. Mahomes is the 3rd best long pass card in the set. And for Dennis Leung, here's a long pass, Noah Gray. And it's complete. There you go, right on cue, 28 yards. That doesn't look like the 3rd best long pass card in the set, but it is. And a lot to do with those must runs. And it also has a lot to do with the fact that there's just not many good long pass columns out there. And that includes that big INT you see on 10. You get a 40-yard penalty for that chance. And nonetheless, even with you factor that in, you got the third best long pass card, and it comes through just when the Chiefs need to, as Mahomes needed to come through, as Mahomes often does. And they're forced to take the timeout, as you could not get out of bounds, which makes it a little bit dicier. You could throw look in and spike, and it's still in the cards. Feel like it. I think you can do that for this play and the next play if it's an incompletion in there. KC does not have all their options, but they still have some. Thanks mostly to Butker's long range, which again extends out to the 43. And so here you see a flat pass. Pacheco. Incomplete. Goes to Pacheco's card. Second time on Pacheco's card, which is not a good sight, and it's 2nd and 10. Again, too tight. Shotgun. You can go line buck if he wants. You can go looking if you want. Scrapping for those 4 yards. So goes deep instead. He's double teamed as Watson. So tough sledding here, incomplete. And now you sort of lost a chance. You have to get out of bounds for 2 reasons. You can't spike on a 4th down. And also you'd run out of time. So options very limited here. Noah Gray as your blocking back makes a lot of sense. So let's see what Baltimore does here. If they cover the flats heavily. No, they don't. So good opportunity here if he gets out of bounds. 4 yards is the 4 yards he needs and couldn't get out of bounds. That'll be the end of the half. White die did not cooperate again for the Chiefs, and that results in no points. That long pass for Mahomes is for naught. 24-13 at the half. Let's get the box score up for posterity's sake here. Let's see where we were at this point. Just give it a second here. Scroll through. And they're asking whether they want to break, and they don't. John relishing the INT that didn't work out for the Chiefs. Obviously, these Chiefs won the Super Bowl in real life, so they got their backs against the wall a little bit here. Nothing these Chiefs can't handle, though. Down 11. Full half to play. Did we get to 500 yards in that first half? We fell just short. But there was a lot of offense. That average yards per play, 6.8, 6.7. Both toward the top end of the league. Guessed wrong. Short pass to open things up. 12 yards again on the defensive card. First down to Gray. His 5th reception already for the day. Gray working against that 0, right outside linebacker. Looking past Kelsey. The 6 is there, guessed right. 7 yards. Straight up on Mahomes' card. Successful first down to the 44. 2nd and 3. Big small ball team here on 2nd and short. Let's see if they stayed a tendency. They do. Looking past Kelsey. He's doubled up. And it's picked off. The second double-teamed interception of the day. Possible penalty. Let's keep that in mind as we look for the return. 10 yards. Penalty is waived on the defensive card, and Baltimore takes over. Wow. At the KC 35. Score here would obviously change the tenor of the game, meaning 7 points would put KC into full out, all-out chase mode. Off tackle, guessed right, nice start, but it goes to the tackle, and he gets 8 yards, and on top of that, you're going to lose a 6 run blocker, or run defense linebacker in Leo Chenal. Again, I don't have a good mute button, everybody, so my coughs are going to be heard every now and then. Sorry about that. So Chenal going out means you got a 0-0 coming in. So all sorts of exposure. Now, not only have you lost your one guy who on fourth down could do some shadowing, 2 yards on first, but you also now are vulnerable to linebacker contain on end runs of 3rd and 5 variety because of this linebacker that you may need to compensate for with safeties or other things. So not a helpful injury. That run was enough for the first down, thanks to the first down block of the tackle that got 8 yards, so just 2 yards there. End run, Edwards, guessed right, still gets 2 yards. That's a nice end run right column. 2nd and 8. Edwards now with 11 carries left here at the 12-minute mark of the third quarter. So a little bit overused so far on a run rate basis, but not in terrible shape. 2nd and 8. Going 4-2-5, showing a blitz. Looking pass. One man is there, guessed wrong. Opportunity for Zay Flowers. Does he get any yak? He doesn't. Just 4 yards, so short of the first down by quite a distance. 3rd and 4. You expect Flowers to have a better yak, given the way he zigzags around the field, but he's just a C. So big 3rd and 4 here. Performed well during the regular season. 30th in the league in conversions from this spot. And nicely called. End run is guessed right. Just gets a yard. Not going to get it. 4th and 3. And that keeps this score at within 2. If Tucker makes it here, it'll be 27-13. And the kick is good on the 9. 27-13. KC has to keep their head held high. That could have been a debilitating drive. Instead, they're just down 2. With still 10 plus minutes left, third quarter. That being said, these points add up. Couldn't get 3 points at the end of the half. Gave up 3 points here. It's a 6-point swing. Could be a real tight game. Instead, KC's got to get 2 touchdowns back somehow, some way, and there's many ways to do it. Flat pass Pacheco. The 0 is out there. 23 yards on the 6 roll. The 2 6s stayed home. And that made all the difference. If the 6 would have been out there, it would have been incomplete. On the 6 white die. 1st and 10 instead at KC's 48. Flat pass guessed wrong. Again to the 0. Big opportunity for Kelsey. Incomplete. The max flat pass card. Now there's a good receiving card. And he couldn't bring it home. 2nd and 10. These Chiefs struggling on the receiver cards. And I mentioned Dennis earlier because I was talking about Mahomes' long pass and sort of referencing Battle Royale. Chiefs have the 30th or 31st best receiver crew, according to my ratings. Not a good receiver crew, especially when there's no yak, but that excludes the tight end. Here's a long pass, Noah Gray. 5 is back there. Can Mahomes find him? You wait the roll. It's flushed. 53% misses. Instead, it's going to be loss of 2 or incomplete. Incomplete. As it reverted to a look-in pass, now 3rd and 10. Went to Clowney and get a 60 roll, and Clowney would have hit his sack at a roll of 53 or less. Instead, falls just outside that range. If a linebacker was coming, he might have gotten him, because that would have boosted his rating. But no linebackers were coming. And now it's a 3rd and long from midfield. KC likely thinking they need 2 downs to get this, if I had to guess. Wouldn't be opposed to a draw against this 0 for Pacheco. Instead, it's a short pass to Pacheco. 3 men in zone. Must runs get 6. Tooney out for the game. The offensive line, the stalwart offensive line for the Chiefs, have lost Creed Humphrey and Joe Tooney, and Chenal's out as well, and they lost a receiver. So injuries are mounting for these Chiefs with the loss of Tooney. And this is an offensive line that just dominated during the regular season. Led the league, 13 sacks against, is the fewest. 2nd in the league in pass blocking success rate at 86% of sack challenges won by this Chiefs offensive line. They've really relied on this line. And now the loss of Tooney at left guard. Not a huge factor. I mean, you can move Clowney out to outside linebacker and send him up against the 0 if he was in the mood to do it. And you see right there, he's not. Short pass on this 4th down. It's a 1st down, a big completion. Might have saved the game for the Chiefs there. Didn't see any shadowing either. On a 4th down, shadowing becomes a better value proposition. Off tackle, Pacheco. 6 yards, just avoids a 1-1-1 injury. 2nd and 4. Let's look at this injury report again. All these have happened in this game. The only one multiple weeks, Creed Humphrey. Too tight. 3-4. End run Pacheco. Man is out there. Looking for the defensive card if you're the Ravens. You get it and makes the play. Dofe Owa, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, is a loss of 3, 3rd and 7. Big play there. Clowney would have made the play as well. Was that Clowney? Who was that out there? Matabuke would have made the play. It would have been a loss of 1. Said it's a loss of 2, which creates this 3rd and 7. Again, KC probably thinking 2 downs to get it done. Now, this time around, the 6 is in it nose. Short pass Watson, 4 men in zone. Incomplete. Finds that 6 on the Ravens short pass card. And quick decision to kick it away. Here comes Bucker. 2 through 10-ish. Missed it on the 11. Oh, my. That is enough to put your head down for at least for a couple seconds if you're on the Chiefs sideline. Rough roll. We mentioned, kind of surprising to see Bucker just go 86% on the year, which is 12th in the league, kind of middle of the pack. He's gotten some bad rolls throughout the season and gets another one in a huge spot. Now with 6:36 left, these Ravens are playing for clock and field goal in a perfect world. Short pass, Zay Flowers, lots of blitzers, still complete unless the penalty comes. The penalty is there, and it's another 15, the third personal foul against these Chiefs. Brings the Ravens to the brink of good field goal range. Blocking back formation. They're up at the KC 35, 1st and 10, 6:18 left third quarter. It's 27-13, Ravens lead. Blitzing 4-3s. KC blitzing a little bit earlier than usual. Can't blame him. Looking for variance here. And a correct Keon Edwards. Looking for a fumble. Does it get loose? It does not get loose. 16.4 versus 70. So they whacked at the ball but couldn't spring it out. 2nd and 7. Certainly got to the 32-yard line. Long pass, likely. He's doubled up by Bolton. So receiver card is alive, I believe. Incomplete. And Stanley's out. So Ronnie Stanley. Ari has to come in for Stanley, if I'm not mistaken. That's what we're looking at here. Let's take a look. Yeah, left tackle. 5-4 is gone for the half. Would have been complete for 29, guessed wrong. Incomplete, guessed right. Double team, obviously incompletion. Brings up 3rd and 7. Off tackle Hill looking to get just a few yards and finds 32 for the score. Big roll there for the Ravens. Just looking, they're obviously just looking for field goal on 3rd and 7 and pick up. They had opportunities to get the first down, no doubt about it. 7-8 would have been a first down, but hits the snake eyes and gets the score to make this a 21-point game, 34-13. This is a Chiefs D that was 10th in the league at 20.9 points per game given up, and they're already at 34. With 5:06 left in the third quarter. Long road ahead now for the Chiefs. And this is generally a small ball team. Going to have to open it up a little bit, at points at least. For the Chiefs, you're just kind of looking at this 7 points at a time right now with 20 minutes left in the game. You're not looking for 7 immediately. You'll take it if you can get it. You might dot in a long pass every now and then, but you can just got to think about it in 7-point chunks. And starts out with looking pass against that 6. Incomplete. 2nd and 10. So 2 tight versus 3-3-5 gives the Ravens that extra safety. Long pass Noah Gray. He's not doubled. 1 man in zone. Incomplete on Noah's card. Not going to get much on Noah Gray if you get the receiver reading, and that's what happened there. Just see what Watson would have done with 10. Watson would have missed as well. 3rd and 10 now. Flat pass Kelsey. He's doubled up by Queen, so double team is not active and gets every yard that he needs. 10 yards, first down. Edwards-Helaire making an appearance. Long pass, Kelsey. Incomplete. So took his shot there. Big third down conversion, but still 65 yards to go. Looked for a big chunk there. Couldn't find it. Now 2nd and 10. 3:36 left, third quarter. Draw to Pacheco. Nobody home. Only gets 3. 3rd and 7. So absolutely fourth down territory here. I would say if it's within contain, you're going for it. If it's outside of contain, you got to think long and hard. Too tight. Flat pass, Kelsey against that 4. Looking for 7 yards. Incomplete. 4th and 7. Punting away. 62 yards to the end zone line. It's from the 12 is Tylen Wallace. Looking for a fumble if you're the Chiefs. You need a big swing. Can he find the fumble? No, on the 10 roll. 11-yard gain. So Baltimore will start out at their own 23-yard line, 2:24 left, and a 21-point lead for these Ravens. Blocking back formation with Hill. Looking pass. Nobody home. Just 4 yards. Doesn't fumble. Possible penalty is waved off. 2nd and 6. Blocking back formation. From their own 27. Linebuck, Hill. Nobody home. Finds a short gain, gets 10 yards. First down, Ravens. Clock ticks toward 1 minute left here in this third quarter. Have to keep these Ravens off the scoreboard if you're the Chiefs. Difficult to come up with 24-point quarters. Off tackle, Hill. 7 big yards. Short yardage here for Hill, no gain. Forces a 3rd and 3 as we head to the fourth quarter with the Ravens leading 34-13. Baltimore's at their own 44, so they're in good punt position if this doesn't work out here on 3rd down. End run, Edwards, well covered, just gets a yard. Called short yardage. Linebacker was in zone, went to Edwards' card for just a gain of 1. 4th and 2. Baltimore will punt from their own 45. So with 55 yards away, going coffin corner, and it's well done, but it goes exactly 55. Boy, I thought we had a good chance of a pin there, and the dice just did not cooperate with the Ravens there in that small way in the grand scheme of things. Instead, it's 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the 20. Down 21. Too tight versus 3-3-5. I'm going to grab another cigar. So stepping away for a second. It seems like we missed a Clowney sack, which after a Pacheco 1-yard run, Clowney got in. And it's 3rd and 18. Long pass. Another sack. Back to the 2. 4th and 28. Townsend's got to punt it away. Going backwards from midfield is Duvernay. He can do some damage. A lot of fair catches, too. Can he find a return? He does. 15 yards. Sets the Ravens up at the Chiefs' 35. So Ravens had one possession that started at the 2-yard line. Otherwise, field position wise, it's been all Ravens. Whoop, let's go here. Come on. Let's take a look at that field position. They've got an 11-yard edge, and that builds in. That includes starting from their own 2. You take that away, it might be a 20-yard edge. Thanks to the turnovers primarily, but also plays like that. 2nd and 10. Field goal here is probably a death blow, but they're not in field goal range yet. 2nd and 10 from the Kansas City 35. Well, they're in range, but it's not very good range for Tucker. End run, Mitchell. No gain. 3rd and 10, correctly called. That would have prevented at least an 8-yard gain. It's a nice call by the D. Sets up this 3rd and long. Flat pass, just looking to get in field goal range again, and this time can't find it. 4th and 10. The Chiefs still have a pulse. Tucker on for an unlikely field goal. Can he hit it? Missed it. And the Chiefs just lost a minute or two and now have pretty good field position out their own 42. Down 3 scores. Long pass. Watson. He's doubled up by Van Noy. We throw. Going to get a dump off opportunity. Can he get yards out of it? Yes, 7 yards. So not a bad result given how the play calls went for the Chiefs. They're 2nd and 3, approaching midfield at the 49-yard line. Long pass back to Watson. One man back there. Chucking it up at this point. Hits the long gain, just 30 yards, though, on the away chart. Puts it, at the 20? 21 for the Chiefs. So, nice big play. You know, you're the Chiefs. You needed end zone there. Desperately wanted it. Instead, you're going to get a red zone opportunity here. Well, 1 yard away from it. Chiefs were very effective in the red zone this year. 2nd in the league. 85%. 43 touchdowns in 54 trips. A long pass, Tony. Nobody back there. Can you find the hit on the defensive card? Nope, could be a dump off. 5 yards. On Hardman's card. Makes it 2nd and 5 from the 16. Down to 9:36 left, 4th quarter. Ravens still hold a 21-point lead. Short pass Sky Moore. He's double teamed nicely. But it's complete anyway. Mahomes finds his double team completion for 10 yards, and it's 1st and goal to 6 for the Chiefs. 9:18 left. Short pass Watson. Blitzer's coming. 4-man zone, must run, touchdown. Patrick Mahomes runs it in, and it's 34-19. You can think about two, but if you're the Chiefs, you probably are going to be playing for overtime. You have the much better kicker, as much as he's missed one. They're going to go for two anyway. Chiefs would have a good shot in overtime, I would say, if it ever came to it. $9. Pacheco guessed right. Needs 2 yards, just gets 1. So 34-19. It's a 15-point game and kicks away with 9 minutes left. So big miss on the 2-pointer. That means the Chiefs will be under pressure to hit their next 2-pointer if they get that far. Nonetheless, I wouldn't say the Ravens are nervous right now. They're nervous about the possibility of being nervous. Put it that way. Up 15 with the ball. 9 minutes left. Flat pass likely. One man there gets 11. I see Baltimore willing to go to the flat pass more here than they have during the regular season. They were 24th overall in calling flat or looking passes during the regular season at a 30% clip of all their play calls. I think they've been running a little bit higher tonight. Linebucker Mitchell, looking for the defensive card, gets it, but just a yard anyway. 2nd and 9. Mitchell has yet to show his burst with just 6 yards on 3 carries. Every series of downs is critical for these Chiefs. They got to get off the field. Trying to force a 3rd and long. Mitchell can get 8 yards real fast. Short pass, Andrews. That's what he was playing for. Instead, it's a 1st down unless there's a penalty, and there is. It's an offside, mandatory, so a false start against the Ravens makes it 2nd and 14. No play, so no time came off. Still 7:48 left. As we wait the play call here. Too tight with Mitchell. Looking past Zay Flowers. 2 men in zone. Looking for a pick. If you're the Chiefs, just miss it. On the 4 on the defensive card. Oh, got the 3 on one of the dies and the 1 on the other one. And instead, we have a 3rd and 14. And run Lamar. Finds 15 yards and a 1st down. That's a backbreaker. Lamar picking on that 0 out at the left linebacker spot, trying to avoid contain, but it goes to the defensive card. Roll of 4, 2 through 9, 12 split, gets the 4 roll plus 15, 1st down Baltimore, their own 47, 6:54 left. Linebucker Mitchell guessed right again. Mitchell continues his struggles. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Back to Mitchell. This time guessed wrong. Gets 6 yards. And they'll bring up a 3rd and 5. At the KC 48-yard line. 5:42 left. Time is melting away on these Chiefs. They need variance, and they need it now. Hill is in. I think his fumble's a little bit higher than the other guys, if I'm not mistaken. So you might see a key here. Off tackle Hill. It's guessed right. It goes to his card. Possible penalty is a clipping against Baltimore. So it's going to be either 4th and 5 or 3rd and 20. I'm forced in the fourth down if I'm the Chiefs, and that's what KC does. And it's a punt. Stout from 48 yards out. Coffin corners and might be well placed. Yeah, it's going to put the Chiefs back to their own 5-yard line. Down 15 with 5 minutes left here in the fourth. If it was one touchdown, you'd be very afraid if you were the Ravens. Instead, it feels kind of comfy. But it's well within the realm of possibility to see the Chiefs make a run here. Nobody home. Looking for a big one. Can't get it on the flat pass, but it was an offside against the Ravens, so it's a 1st and 5. Chiefs at their own 10-yard line, 4:48 left. Facing the 3-2-6. Long pass, 2 men back. Looking for Mahomes' card. Can he get it? Nope, but flushed. Possible penalty. Just avoids the pick. No flag down. 2nd and 5. Went to a dump off. Mahomes interception split 2 through 4, 12. The roll was 5. Too tight against 3-2-6 again. Looking past Kelsey. Nobody home. Oh, he was double teamed by a safety, but you put one man there and incomplete. 3rd and 5. A lot of triple doubles here from the Ravens these last few possessions. Linebuck draw Pacheco. Looking for that first down. Does not get it. Yard short. 4th and 1 from their own 14. KC will go. 3:36 left. Been a long time just to get this one first down for the Chiefs. And even that is not assured here on this 4th and 1. Long pass. 2 men back. Kind of a Hail Mary shot. Can the Chiefs find it here? They get flushed. Good chance of getting it. And they get 9 yards. 1st down. Defensive card on the flush. 5 roll. Gives the Chiefs a 1st down out to the 23. Got out of bounds. 3:18 left. Three wide this time. So out of the 2 tight. Gonna limit those double teams a little bit. Short pass, Tony. 4 men are in zone. Incomplete. Watson's double teamed on this long pass. Incomplete. On the defensive card, 3rd and 10. Hope is running out for these Chiefs here. They're just not getting the ball down the field. All the deep stuff's being covered up pretty well. It must be 6th or 7th play of this drive, including some penalties, and they've gone 18 yards so far. Four men to Pacheco, short, 1st down, 10-yard gain. Couldn't get out of bounds. KC lets the clock run to 2:06. Too tight versus a dime. Long pass, Noah Gray. 2 men back there. Gets them a home card. Long gain. Gray's going to be limited. No, he's not. 59 yards is going to be a nice gain for Noah Gray. hits the long gain on Mahomes' card, puts him at the Baltimore 8-yard line at the 2-minute warning. So we're going to have some drama here. Let's see if the Chiefs can get in quickly. A 3-3-5 blitz versus 4 wide. Pacheco's your back. Kelsey off the field. Short pass, Kadarius Toney. 4-man in zone. Blitzer's coming. Touchdown. Down 9. Going to have to go for... go for 2, I guess. Have to do it sooner or later. Decides to kick. So that maximizes drama here. So we'll take that from a broadcast perspective. The extra point is good. Here comes your onside kick. KC has all 3 timeouts. They don't have to onside it, but I expect that they will with 1:45 left. Let's see. Could go either way. Onside and the Chiefs recover! Karlaftis makes the recovery, and the Chiefs are 50 yards away from that and a 2-point conversion, tying this game up. Wow. Ravens are no longer worrying about worrying. They're just worrying now. 2 tight versus 3-3-5. Little change of posture here from the Ravens. Looking out now for the look in and flat, and they should be. That's a wise move because there's plenty of time for KC with 3 timeouts to go 50 yards. Clock really not an issue at all right now. They'd have to have a bunch of sort of unsuccessful small ball to make the clock an issue. It's a long pass to Watson. 2 men are back there. Game could end right here in a pick, and it does! Marlon Humphrey is there. There's no possibility of a flag. He'll just keep that ball. And with 3 timeouts, the Chiefs are not out of it. Essentially, you have an unsuccessful, you have them like kicking away. That's essentially what happened here. It's no different than if they kicked away. The ball's at the 24-yard line. So if you're the Chiefs, keep your head held high because you're still in a spot that's reasonable. It's reasonable that they would have kicked away and not gone onside. And here you are. Okay, play it. 2 tight versus 4-3. Not blitzing, interestingly. It's a key to Edwards. It's a look into Edwards. He gets only 4. Possible penalty. No flag down on the offensive card. 2nd and 6. Boy, found that completion on the defensive card. It's a pretty tight flat pass 1-man card. And found the +4, which is important. 2nd and 6 for so many reasons. Edwards is your back. Short yardage. Here comes Edwards. Center is Lindebaum. He can make that block, and he does. 1st down. And that will do it. On the 6 white die, Linderbaum makes a huge block to end this game. In all likelihood, there's always a chance of us kneel down fumble. Here's the first one. No fumble. One more kneel down for the Ravens will do it. Jackson gets it down. No fumble. And that's it. Final score. Ravens 34. Chiefs 26. Kansas City outgained the Ravens, but lost the turnover battle decisively, 3-0. Mahomes, these last couple games, has thrown 6 picks. The Chargers game and now this Ravens game. And that has been the undoing of the Chiefs from the AFC West crown and now the playoffs. So our real life Super Bowl winner will not come to fruition here in the USFFL. We will await Big Chief's entry into the room. Let's see here. The Ravens win as the 3rd seed. Keeps everything at chalk. So far, the 3rd and the 4th have advanced. As we welcome our commissioner, Tim Irvin, into the broadcast booth.
Hey there.
Your thoughts, sir?
Am I echoing? Do I need to? I probably do.
Not that I hear.
Yeah, that did not go as well as planned.
Well, what did you see as the key?
I really liked how the flow of the game was going early. I had to settle for a field goal to get it to 17-13 at one point instead of matching him with a TD. But I knew I had the second half first possession. I felt good about it. And it was really that interception right before half that just sank me. I think I had just stopped him. I think I had the ball with the 17-13 deficit, a chance to get another field goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got to midfield before I turned it over on an interception. And give him credit. His interception, as all of them were tonight, were, as I recall, I think every single one of them was on a double team. And
yes,
that's something that, I was cussing pretty loud in that moment just because I've had a high propensity of hitting the number my opponent wants when they've made a great call and double team me effectively. And I've had a lot of picks on that this year, and 3 of them in this game. And that was a big part of the difference. Taking my run game out was big too. Some injuries also. Although I think that I think if you look at the names of the injuries I got, it probably looks a lot more impactful than it ended up being on the loss.
I mean, yes and no, right? First of all, your instincts are right on the double team effectiveness. It was something the Chiefs with a bunch of different receivers. It's not like you funnel it to one guy. I mean, you have Kelsey is 12th in the league in targets, but after that, it gets pretty well distributed. And the Chiefs finished 24th in the league in terms of how your defensive opponent double teams you. They're successful 11.8% of the time, which is high. And that resulted in picks in the Chargers game, right? I think 2 of the 3.
Maybe,
and these 6 interceptions that Mahomes has thrown over the last couple games, right? I think is it 4 of the 6?
Well, 5 of the 6, if I'm right, that all 3 in this game. But ultimately,
there's 2 men in zone at least.
What makes that a problem is a great call by the defense and a bad call by me. After that, it's just luck and timing that have not aligned very well for me. But, to your point, if people are double teaming me successfully at a higher rate than most people, that's a problem that I need to have solved, and probably a big reason why I'm not advancing at this point. So,
and you speak of the injury. I mean, look, it didn't really show up, I think, until that very important 3rd and 14 in the 4th quarter, where he ran at Chenal's replacement, right?
Yeah, and the funny thing about
the end run to Jackson.
Funny thing about that play was looking at a 3rd and 15, and in that game situation, I pretty much knew he was going to run. And I still called dime because it just felt like the right call. And then when I called dime, I'm thinking he's calling run. I was saying to myself, if he is running, it's going around the end. You should blitz those linebackers, put them on the ends to protect that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I thought, no, don't do that. Flat, you never know. That's more dangerous, more chances to get a big gainer there. And then sure enough, he goes in and run and hits my split roll on my card and gets 15 when he needs 14. And it's just another one of those clutch moments in the game that just kind of made the difference. Thought I had something going when I got that onside kick, but I think that's at least the second time in my career where I've been at the end, desperately needed an onside kick, got the onside kick with plenty of time, and I decided to cross it up and make it, hope that they would not think I was going right away, and I got burned for doing so. The first time I've tried that, and this time as well tonight. So,
well, that was it was a reasonable call. I mean, he went 3-3-5 instead of 3-2-6 for the first time in a while, right?
Yes,
which meant which was a signal to you that hey, he's minding now the flat, because you had a minute 32 and 3 timeouts to work with, so the flat became an issue, right, for the Ravens all of a sudden.
Correct.
Where it wasn't an issue, I mean, you're pinned back to your 15-yard line or whatever on the previous drive. So
yeah,
you're sort of hoping he stays true to that in the play call, and John did a nice job of kind of crossing it up, right? Leaving
isn't that the one where I got the long pass to Noah Gray anyway that got me
Yep.
out across midfield?
Got you to the 21, yeah.
At some point, I just had to say, keep chucking it. Just keep chucking it, and pray for help.
Now, before we have a little rundown here of things I want to cover with you, but overall, let's just do one more overall point, which was, the offense was working, the defense was working. You were doing a great job playing Chiefs ball, getting dump offs and yaks. Dump offs and yaks were working. They're working for him too, but they were certainly working for the Chiefs. And you look at this box score, and you were in chase mode, and he was obviously more conservative for the fourth quarter, but nonetheless, 460 total yards versus 352 is a nice result.
And that's without really much balance. Pacheco did not have that good of a night, and he's typically been extremely consistent for me. But Baltimore really contained him, forced me to stick in the air, and I think I don't typically have a very good night with yak dice, but I sure did in this game. I was throwing yak bombs all over the place in the first half. Kelsey especially was just, I think he had 3 catches for 60-something yards right out of the gate or something like that, and they were all in the flat.
So let's go back to your first possession. Obviously, fourth down call from the 2. Were you on the fence there?
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking?
Oh, that upset me too. That's a big turning point. I hated to go for that, but man, if he didn't I got the calls I wanted. I really got the calls I wanted, and I had plenty of shots at it. And I know it's a good to excellent run defense, but 3 different times I hit that 7-0.
7.
With the short gain right below it, including on the fourth down. That was devastating. And then, another one was missing a 2-10 field goal at a time when I really needed that. So also there were multiple first downs that it was and this is real common. It seems to be when an opponent gets a first down on me, that's when the dice love to let's tack on 15 more. So I was getting penalties. Special teams was failing me. I was looking at it, and we were talking about the 1 in 36 chance that somebody's going to get a shot at my bad kick return, and yet the number was rolled, and there he goes out toward midfield. So there were a lot of things that worked against me, and this is a game. Listen, John called a great game. Like I said, the 3 interceptions were him doubling me. So that's him winning and me losing in the coach's box. Nevertheless, I felt like had a pretty good game plan. Things worked pretty well, other than some big turning points. And you're right, I'd forgotten about that. Thanks for the reminder. It began with that fourth down stop on the opening drive. Golly.
Well, I mean, when it comes to the fourth down stop, and it also comes to the onside kick, in both cases, it was a case of 2 steps back, 1 step forward. Because in the fourth down stop, it went kind of textbook. You got a 3 and out and got the ball back midfield,
Are you talking about late in the game now?
No, early on. So your first
Okay.
loss of downs, right? So he ended up punting, and you end up getting a score, right? So it kind of worked out. It didn't
I see what
really
you're
hurt
saying.
you
Yeah.
net.
I came
And
right
then
back and scored.
in terms of the onside kick, look, there was a case to be made when you did the onside kick to kick it away. You had 3 timeouts.
I thought
Right?
about it. Absolutely.
Right. So the interception put the ball 1st and 10 at the 24 for the Ravens with your 3 timeouts. I mean, it was like you kicked away. No different. You ended up just kicking away. You had a chance for a long pass in between, but that's exactly where you would have been if you decided to kick away.
Yeah.
Minus 8 seconds. So
yeah,
so bad. And in that case, of course, it didn't work out, and he was able to run
I
out.
think some of what informed me there is the opposite experience. I've had 2 games, I think, this year where it just didn't work out for me at the end, and I don't know. This time, I just felt like I never go for the onside. I never do.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't believe in the odds, I guess. But there's been twice this year where I didn't believe in it. I went for it and paid a price. And this time I was like, I'm just going to go for it. Go for the onside. Now, and then earlier this year, I don't remember which games, but there were a couple games I didn't get the ball back when I went ahead and kicked away late like that.
And a minor detail, but down 15 going for 2.
Yeah, and that one I could have gone for 2, but I wanted to make sure that I was still alive. I didn't want to miss it and then be down by 9. Game's not even interesting. I wanted to know I was still in it, keep my mind, on full blast, on fire, trying to come back. So I wanted to make sure I was still alive.
Well, it was I don't know. It was I guess when it's all said and done, you got to sort of look to the turnovers as the difference when you rack it all up. I mean, look, there's other things too, right? 2 touchdowns were scored on flat passes where you had 2 men in zone.
Yeah, I feel like
2 touchdowns were scored when you on flat. I'll say it again. When he threw flat passes when you had two guys in zone. Guessed wrong, but 2 men in zone. So if the white guy goes the other way,
I don't remember that. Say that again.
2 touchdowns were scored by the Ravens on flat passes in instances where you had 2 men in the zone.
Oh, yeah, I remember one of those now for sure.
One to look in, one flat pass right.
Yeah, I do remember one where I was excited because I knew I had a 50-50. He also had a big, snake eyes 33-yard run to Justice Hill, that took him in the end zone. So, yeah, I just, I feel like, I had a lot of success in a lot of places throughout the game, and I have my own good rolls, but I feel like in high leverage moments, he really got the best of me.
Yeah, and it comes down to John's. I think it just comes down to those correct double teams at the right time to get those picks. That's
got to give him credit for that. He made the right calls, and like I said, that's been a theme. It's interesting. You pulled up the stats. That's great to hear. Doesn't surprise me a bit. I felt all year like I was having a high propensity of the double teams being called correctly on me, which to your point is, I think that honestly, if I'm candid, I think that's a failing of coaching when for most of the season, I'm not dealing with a lot of injuries. I was pretty healthy all year. So in most games I had a trio of A-rated Yak players. It's not like I was needing to force the ball to anyone, including, by the way, at tight end and at halfback where, you need a free safety to double anyway for the most part.
Look, on the flip side of that, like I said before, I mean, you really didn't funnel. I mean, Kelsey had 176 targets, Rice had 145, and then Pacheco had 98, Gray had 77, Watson had 56. It's a pretty decent distribution. There's tighter distributions out there. There really is. There's a bunch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Bunch more.
Sure.
Yet the Chiefs were, like I said, 24th in double team against percentage, and also 26th in INTs, right, at 1.1 per game. So it's a little bit as usual with Strat. As usual, it's hard to make any sort of black and white conclusion because it's
I'd spent some
there's
time
always a
on this
counterpoint.
game. I spent some time on this game and others looking at the tendencies of my opponent. I really probably need to next year be paying a little more attention to what would somebody find if they're looking into my tendencies, because I think this year I feel like people had a good read on me, and I was playing uphill in the coaching game most of the season.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case. Yeah, I mean, next year it's going to probably feel that way even more. I think for my team too. I think we're both Herbert and Mahomes are going to be 2-column quarterbacks with not much deep, and the game is going to be played in 2/3 at the Strat Field for the most part, right? Which compresses everything and makes defensive play calling a little bit easier. But
big congratulations, by the way. I sure want to extend congratulations out to John Shoemaker, advancing to the next round. I'm happy for him, and I wish him well as he moves forward. I hope it was cathartic. I know that there was a year when, in real life, I'm talking about when Mahomes lost a playoff game to Burrow. For the next several seasons, I was looking forward to anytime I got a shot to play Jeff Windlet and his Bengals. I was upset about that game. So I know that the Chiefs knocked the Ravens out last year. So hopefully that was a little cathartic for Mr. Shoemaker to take me down. He's a deserving coach.
I wish Strat would take the time. For sure.
Huh?
For sure. And I wish Strat would take the time to reissue, if you're a Chiefs guy, reissue the cards for just the playoffs, right? Because the Chiefs cards would have looked a little bit different if the playoff stats were built in.
I don't think anybody wants to face me if I get just the Chiefs playoff cards.
The outlook now for John as the 3rd seed and the 4th seed have also advanced. So we have one game left in the AFC, and that is what,
should be
2 versus 7.
So that means he should get the Dolphins as long as the Dolphins beat the Bills.
That's right. So Dolphins beat the Bills. Then you have Dolphins versus Ravens and Jaguars versus Chargers.
Sounds
if the
right.
Bills beat the Dolphins,
then it would be
Jaguars
Bills
versus
as
Bills.
the lowest seed. It would be Bills and Jags.
Yeah, and Ravens versus Chargers.
There you go.
Yep. That's where we are in the AFC. All right. Anything else to add?
Not at all. Let's see. It's Thursday. It looks like we have an off day tomorrow. No playoff games. Saturday morning, there will be a couple of them. Thank you to those coaches in particular and all the coaches who have done a good job staggering the games. Looks like I'll be up early for a 7 a.m. kickoff, my time here Central, and then a 9 a.m. kickoff after that. I'll cover both of those and hoping that you can take care of Saturday night if possible, Anthony. I'm going to maybe be on the road back from Topeka, so I'm going to go see my parents.
It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Should be able to cover it. Right. And once again,
we'll continue to try to cover every game, and I appreciate you picking up for us tonight, Anthony, and getting that coverage out for us.
Sure thing. And once again, condolences to you and your town on the tragic loss. Yeah. It was tough.
And I meant to say thank you for. I meant to say thank you to you for bringing that up last night. I had not heard about it when you brought it up, and I was definitely grateful that when I got off the broadcast, I was able to get involved and start, looking into it, making sure there wasn't anybody that I knew or anything, which wasn't, of course.
Oh, good.
No, I didn't know anything about that last night or anything, but you still, when it's that close, you still want to be paying attention. So I appreciate you bringing it up for me. I do.
For sure.
So,
well, thanks for jumping on, and we'll see you on Saturday morning, and then we'll see me on Saturday night for the
sounds good.
Of
Wildcard will be wrapping up. Thanks again, Anthony. Have a good one.
Sure thing. Thank you, Tim. Yep. Until then, everybody, have a good night.